Major support for these programs is provided by Bank of America Merrill Lynch and Perfect Building Maintenance, New York Community Bank, Kilroy Architectural Windows, New York's Window Company, Greenberg Traurig, LLP, M&T Bank, Chase Commercial Term Lending. Additional support is provided by AVR Realty Company, LLC, Bingham McCutcheon, LLP, Briarwood Organization, Bruce Mosler, Capital One Bank, Cassidy Turley, C.B. Richard Ellis, Chelsea Lighting, Cushman and Wakefield, Dime Savings Bank of Williamsburg, Douglaston Development, DDG Partners, Hal Fettner, Durst Fettner Residential, Friedman LLP, Accountants and Advisors, Gemini Real Estate Advisors, LLC, Genova Burns and Gian Tomasi, Investors Bank, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Center at Syracuse University, Corman Communities, Madison Realty Capital, Margolin Weiner and Evans, LLP, Certified Public Accountants and Business Advisors, Massey Knackle Realty Services, Meridian Capital Group, Newmark Knight Frank, Site Comply, Sterling and Sterling, SJP Properties, Stonehenge Partners, the Wickoff Group, Urban American, and Ackman Ziff Real Estate, Ariel Property Advisors, Eastern Consolidated, Essex Capital Partners, Goldman Properties, Moynihan Group, Muss Development, RAL Development Services, the Spandrel Group, LLC, Rosewood Realty Group, Triangle Equities.
So, you know, New York City, you have some very interesting people. And some of them come here when they're 17 years of age. They get involved with the garment center. They get into contracting, and then they become hotel operators and developers. I'm very fortunate today to have a person like that. I have John Lam, the chairman and CEO of the Lam Group. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, John, tell me, you were born in China, right?
Yeah, born in China.
And you, at an early age, your parents moved from China to Hong Kong, correct?
Yes.
And they were doing what? They were manufacturing pocketbooks?
They manufacture a handbag.
And what did you do? You were an entrepreneurial kid. You made wallets and buckles for these handbags?
Well, the first 2 years I helping them. So I one time I getting some material left over. Then making some little wallet bag to tie into the handbag to sell to the market. Accepted. So then I start my own company to doing bag to sell.
Now, how old were you when you started this company?
At that time, I'm 14.
14 years of age in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong.
So now, when you're 17, your parents come here, correct? Yeah. And they move to Floral Park, where your aunt was?
Yeah, they come to New York. So all the immigrants do the same way. So when they come in, they have no home, they have no place. We all stuck in at my aunt's home. So to looking for apartment to stay. So we stuck in for a couple months before we got our own homes.
And your first job here, you were 17 or 18, is you got a job in the kitchen of a Chinese restaurant out in Long Island, correct?
Yes.
And you're there for about a year, and then you say what?
I'm there for like 2 months. I figure out it's not for me because no matter what you do in the kitchen, even you be a chef, it's not for me. So, and I take my day off. I went to New York to research what is best for New York City. So I found New York City, the big enterprise, the finance districts, real estate, and government business.
So you go to Chinatown, and you get a job as a piecemeal worker?
Yes, I went to Chinatown, applied a job,
And then what was the job?
and at that time they asked me what I know.
Right,
about-
and you knew something from China, Hong Kong.
and I told them I know nothing about garment. So and I said, whatever you want to teach me, I would like to do it. So I get a job in like for workers. So whatever people need, I do work for. And so after I work for a month, and the owner said, you know a lot of factory things, because I was in Hong Kong in a garment factory for a long time, and I know how to fix the machine. I know how to all those
So
things.
you could work on the machines.
Right.
And then he made you the foreman, right? After a short period of time.
Then he gave me to a division manager to upgrade. Then one day, my foreman got sick, so I have no foreman there, and I volunteered be a foreman to work for them, and I produce better than the foreman. And they said, wow, that time, and they said, okay, you'll be assistant foreman to help them put, in the factories.
So how do you decide to go from being a foreman to start your own factory?
I worked for about 2 years, and I got a couple thousand saving.
You said you had about $5,000 in savings?
Yeah, I got a couple thousand saving. And I figure if continue work this way, I am very heavy on my family support. So every paycheck I come in, I give to my mom. So they gave me $15 to take a train for lunch, everything in there. So I said, this way I'm never going to be survive. And I figured I have to change my life. The only way I change my life, I cannot find new, other better job because I have no diploma. So only way I have chance is start my own business to take a chance.
So how do you find a business? How do you start it?
So at that time, I'm looking around. I see one of the factory, they for sale, asking for 20,000. So I only get 5,000. So I call my sister, be a partner. My sister she just got married to come to the United States. Because I'll be older to have to support the family. To partner, then I go to the bank to get 5,000 for each for loan. So I got 20,000. I purchased the first factory about 20 machines. So and I figured this factory I cannot be failed. I gotta be very hard to make that happen. So at that time, when I own the factory and working for somebody, it's totally different. Because a lot of things I never into before. We do have some big mistake, but I see other factories how they do successful, and I start convert my factory to doing the way they do, and changing around to make that more productive.
Okay, you were cutting fabrics, correct? And where was the manufacturing? Here, or was it made in China or Vietnam?
It's all domestic manufacturing
At that time.
So, at that time. So they cut the good, and we put the good together, sold it. So and at that time, I learned from the old factory, and
Now, what happened? You told me when we got together, you worked for this guy in the factory, and he got sick. What was the story about that?
Well, after running for a couple of months, my own factory, getting stable, then I called back to my
Old boss, right?
Old boss. He got sick, and went to hospital. And that time, the factory no one control, and have a lot of trouble. And I went there without even tell them to help them organize their factory and help the worker, with all the workers, my old friend. So I organized the factory until it come out, and I give back to them. And they want me to stay in the factory because the doctor told them they health, they cannot be.
He couldn't work that hard.
Can never work that hard. So I told them I have no money. Because I just
You just bought the other factory with the money that you had.
So I have to pay the bank first. And I have no money to buy the factory. That factory, a much bigger factory than I have. And after I left, and they talked to the family, and family said, I worked for them for 2 years, and they believe me, they trust me. And they called me again, have a meeting with them. They said, I know you don't have the money to buy. I'm leasing the factory for 2 years. And if you could afford to pay rent, I'd rather let you run the factory. And after 2 years, when I get better health, I'm going to be come back to take back the factory. And that time I figured that's my chance. So I accepted, and I getting a couple $1,000 become capital, and I start that factory. And soon I started, I changed around the factory, become piecework, also become section work. And I know the market. That time I learned, I know the market need a quick response, and the quality is very important. So I changing the way, the old time, the way they producing, and getting accepted by the manufacturer, and they starting commitment supporting our company. So we have very good business. After 6 months, I make the first 100,000. So 100,000 at that time is a lot of money. Talk about 38 years ago. So I make the first 100,000. Then I set up my plan. This factory only 18 months left, and I got to start building my enterprise. So I set up every 6 months I have to build one factory.
Another factory. Now, how did you get into now you're manufacturing? Then you told me you got involved with the salesman, and you then went into the manufacturing of selling garments as opposed to manufacturing. When you the sales partner.
Yes. When I be contracting, working with them, I always scheduling how to deliver, and become very important for certain manufacturer, and all the designer and the production person, they want me to get involved on their line, how to simplify in production, how to get that into it. I become an expert. Turn around, so the short period of time I become an expert. So, and some manufacturers, they have a problem in production, and they always want me to help them out to get into it. And that time I already getting my schedule. Every 3 months I open one hotel. My schedule 6 months, but I open 4 hotels every year. I mean 4 factories every year. So in a couple of years, I have over 1,000 workers already, and I'm making a lot of money. And I use my money to support manufacturers when they have trouble. So when they have financial trouble, I work with them. I say, I take care of all the production, you take care of all the sales, and become a partnership.
Now, what you've also done, we're going to get to another things, is that, the garment business, the International Lady Garment Workers, the division that you were involved with, when it was founded in 1930, was literally, founded by Irish, Jews, and then you became the first Chinese president of the Garment Association of Workers, correct? In 1980.
1980, I think 84, 85, right. Something like that. Because at that time, I already have over 2,000 workers already. I become one of the biggest garment producers in New York City, and I become one of the most important garment manufacturer support. And the union at that time make a deal.
They needed you. They needed your help.
They need to make a deal, the wrong deal, and make the government cannot survive. And a lot of government in trouble. And I sit down with them. I doesn't like the contract, and the factory don't have enough capital to get him the tax reserve. They set up the 8% tax reserve they already get 38%, 35% for the beneficiary, and you add on other 8% tax reserve, like
You can't run.
like over 40-some%.
Let's talk about you. In addition to running a garment company, a manufacturing company, you got involved with a company. You created a minority small business lending company called North American Funding, correct?
Yes.
And you were lending money to different businesses to do that. Then later on, you were involved with the creation of a bank, East Bank.
Yes.
Tell me about East Bank.
When I have the first North American funding, it is a lot of time that the immigrant to go to bank to get financing very difficult. So I get the funding to supporting build business. So because that funding is very small, so only support a couple of people, they can't finish it. So I figure and then come out idea, we should have a bank, the community bank. So we have a couple of partners all to put it to team together.
And you opened up a bank, the East Bank. Now, I'm going to get to the hotels in a minute, but you started buying land. The first building you bought in Chinatown was on Canal Street. When did you buy that?
That's 1980. So when I
30 years of age.
1980, the real estate market dropped to the bottom. So I figured when they hit to the bottom, it's time to spend. Even I don't have a lot of money. So I put a couple of people together to purchasing first building. Then a year later, I purchased second building. So almost every year, I buy one buildings. So, and up to 88, and when the law changed, they start talking about the rent tax. The England start talking about how to create tax, how to charge more tax. I know something happened.
So that's when you sold some of your buildings.
And I figure I'm holding the portfolio. I should cash out. So I sell 50% of my portfolio. And the cash.
But you're still in the manufacturing.
I still in manufacturing. Whatever I don't use it, I don't sell. Whatever I don't use it, I sell that out.
Okay. Now, it's 1997, and you're buying the market. The real estate market is changing. The world is changing, and you buy a variety of property. And this is really the beginning of John Lam Hotels. You buy a hotel, a site in Philadelphia. Tell me about that.
Well, I started in 95. Figured that is time the real estate market start moving up. Then I start purchasing the same way. By accident, I see the hotel in the bank portfolio. So I figured the price is good, attractive enough. I get into it. So as soon as I get into it.
So you buy a hotel, the Wyndham, what was it?
That's Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn in Philadelphia.
Right. So I get into it, and I see the falling apart. And at that time I said I have to be upgraded, make sure my customer happy, and build back the business. And that build back the business cost me $8 million just to do the renovation. So I think, and after renovation, my business is getting double, and Carmen is really good.
So now you come back to New York. I mean, you were always in New York City. Yeah. You come back and you buy your first site at Kennedy Airport, correct?
Yes.
What do you build?
After I finished that hotel, I said, New York is my hometown. I should back to New York to build my dream hotel, my idea how to build. So I bought because I don't have much experience. I bought the first land, and I designed the hotel the way I want to design. And we went through a lot of little mistake and learned from the build.
So
and
what was
the first hotel? Is about 60 room, Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn, where was it?
In JFK.
JFK, and that was the first hotel.
That's the first hotel.
So when do you then go to Flushing and Manhattan?
And the same year, actually, I bought that site, not finished it. I bought the Flushing site. I built Howard Johnson.
Howard Johnson in Flushing.
Right.
But you're still not in Manhattan. You're not in the Apple. So when does that happen?
Manhattan, the land very expensive. So if I want to learn, I want to learn in
the suburbs.
In the sub area.
In the boroughs.
So soon I feel confident, and I said, it's time for me to come to Manhattan. So then I bought the land in a community center on 38th Street.
So you bought on 38th Street right near the Javits Center.
Right.
And you built what, a Comfort Inn there?
No, I built a Best Western.
A Best Western. So that's when you're building the small stuff. How, John, you've built over 20 hotels. You've built and you've sold, but today, where are your hotels today that you own today? And then we'll talk about where you're planning.
Right now, most of my hotel I own on Manhattan, Soho area, downtown, Charles, Times Square, and that's the area I focus into.
So now, I knew about Chinatown, I knew about Flushing, Brooklyn. Why did you went to Duffield Street and you built 2 beautiful hotels in Duffield Street? How did you make the decision to go to downtown Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, I do the study. They only one Marriott hotel, long time, always full, always people have no room to stay, and a lot of people walk back to New York. I figured, and the Brooklyn is the biggest city in the United States, and that location, if you have a white hotel, they should generate business.
So the first hotel that you opened in downtown Brooklyn was the Sheraton.
Yes.
And then
A loft.
last year you opened up the Loft,
Right.
which was the first loft really in New York City,
Yes.
with the exception that where your son opened up on the Lam second generation up in Harlem. So you right now have 2 hotels on Duffield Street in downtown Brooklyn. But you were saying, which is very creative, there's not that much shopping. So in one of the hotels you have a restaurant, and one of the hotels you have like a small grocery?
Yes. Well, I see the Brooklyn people want hotel there, but people doesn't know where the hotel is. So we have to do the marketing for it, and we have to provide full service hotel, and also provide limited service hotel. That's why in one site I built 2 hotels. One a full service hotel with a swimming pool, and one a limited service hotel. And if you want to go out to eat, you always could stay in a hotel to eat, and you have meeting room, you have everything in there, and very close to the subway station, and close to court, close to all the major office building there. And I opened that over a little over a year, and market price almost compared to New York.
Now, something that you've done, as I was saying before, the Garment Association, since the garment world, you've got out of the business, you sold the business a couple of years ago, but one of the great things that you've done over the years is that you have helped train people who previously worked in the garment center to work in hotels. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, I was the chairman of the association, and at that time I have over 30,000 workers working for me very closely in town. And for the past 10 years, they all lost about over 30,000 jobs, and no one really cared with them, and they cannot, difficult to find job, and they're immigrant, they not speak very good English. So then a partnership with the CBC, the hotel training school, tell them to train the worker, I'm going to hire them, and I have, in hotel, I put our own department to train the worker and go to the scale what they could do. So in the past 10 years, I changed training over 3,000 workers.
So 3,000 former garment workers are now hotel workers.
Now in the hotel worker, they were very happy, and they really care about their job, and they do even better than other area hotel. That's why our hotel always got good comment from the client, because my worker care about the job.
Now, you are very bullish, as I am and many people, with Lower Manhattan. What are you doing down there? How many hotels are you in the middle of building?
In Lower Manhattan, right now I'm planning to build 5 hotels, so over close to 1,000 rooms. And last week we have big one, the Foreman Sheraton, and right now we have 3 other big one already. and we got two. We got a big one in probably July, this year, July.
Now, you're doing something which is very interesting that's going to be a subject of one of my articles, is that you are also utilizing for the development of one of the hotels on Pearl Street what we call as the EB5. So you're going to be financing a portion of this by people who come here and make investments, correct?
Yes, because our company every year create a couple hundred jobs, non-stop. So a lot of people said, you create so many jobs, and today's the bank so tight. Why you don't figure EB5? And I do the study on the EB5, and I went to China and talked to a lot of people. They're all nervous about it because they have a lot of EB5 in Ford or down there, and either they get into visa, but they get a piece of real estate losing money.
Right. At least here you're going to be, you're creating jobs, you're providing money to come into America, people are immigrating, and it's a great job. Let's talk, in addition to the hotels, you own some real estate in Valley Stream? Let's talk about, you have something in Chambers Street.
Yeah.
What are you doing over on Chambers Street now?
We just bought the Chambers Street building. We're going to convert that to deluxe condos. So, and we keep it for the retail, and upstairs right now it's empty. So office building, no market. So, and that's a landmark building, and you cannot change your loan.
So you're going to...
That's the only way I could convert this.
Now, a number of years ago, because of your great work to the community, you were a recipient of the Ellis Island Award, correct?
Yes.
And what was...
That's 1997, and I received an award from the create job and create business.
Now, you know what, in addition to that, as you said with your sister, who made the investment with you in the first warehouse, the Lam generation, how many Lams are in the business today? And brother-in-laws and everyone else?
Right now, it's, my son, Jeffrey and Raymond, they graduate from school. My son, Jeffrey, graduated 5 years ago, and he start come to work for a real estate company. Before they graduate, I asked them, what you like to do? So I put him in architect firm, put him to a financing firm, put him to hotel, and put him to a different industry. And they figure out, and they like the real estate, and I wanted to work for me. They said no, they have too many brothers and sisters.
But they're affiliated,
Yes.
right? So you have your brother-in-law, you have your sister, you have, you know, John, you have, you know, many people would call truly the American dream. Coming over when you were 17, growing, building, but more important, what you've done for New York City by the job creation and the vitality of the city. And you are a very true, interesting story.
Well, I know the immigrant, how difficult to survive and get a job. And if I have chance, I want to be get them an equal opportunity and let them could make the American dream. And I think America is really good for everybody. So everybody equal. Either you graduate from college or you didn't graduate from college, you still have an equal chance to make your life the good way.
And thank you very much for being here today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.